Hey y'all, welcome back to the next video and the GOAT 1-ton build. We're back here, of course, out Josh's, and the word of the day today is welding. We finished up the Artec conversion kit on the Dana 60, and we weld and we paint and we grind and we weld, but it's all done.
All done.
And then we switched over to the Sterling 10.5 and Josh removed the spring perches. So let's get started. If you remember from the last video, we ran out of cable wire. So I went up to Central Welding Supply in Renton and got us some new welding cable. So we're back at it. A lot of welding needs to be done today. That's pretty.
Now you gotta finish welding all this stuff up.
Okay.
You wanna weld?
Hell yeah. Damn it, bud. I'm all fingers with this thing.
Gotta get comfortable.
I do. I understand your. I think that'll work. All right. I did your push and pull method.
That looks good.
I've done worse. I've definitely done worse. Do that one?
You can do them all.
Oh, shit. Well, that was fun. Thanks for suggesting that I give it a go.
It doesn't hurt.
Does not hurt, especially on a truss. Let's leave the rest of the welding to the professionals. Next, we bring out the coil buckets and we're going to level them with an angle finder.
When I weld that one in, I want this to be 0 degrees and that one to match this one.
I see. After finding the angles that he likes, Josh tacks on the coil buckets. And then we pull out the parts for the sway bar and the track bar. Josh likes what he sees, so he runs a whole bead on the coil bucket. That is its official position. He tacks together parts 17 and number 8 to see how it comes together and fits on the axle. Now, what was this piece called? Track bar?
Track bar.
Okay.
And sway bar.
Okay. Yep, 17, 7, and 8. Josh says it's official. He's welding it. Says it looks good. Too hot.
Too hot for that glove.
Josh switches gloves, but he just did a lot of welding.
Almost too hot for this glove.
Oh no! Let it cool! Shit.
That was hot.
Determined to tack that thing on. Well, you did it. You got her tacked on.
That was hot.
Blister?
No.
While we're letting that cool down, Josh grinds down my welds. And they needed it. Wow. Like Bug was never here. Joe will be like, so where'd you weld, Bug? Be like, haha, Josh got rid of them.
Still gotta weld these.
Alrighty. Word of the day is weld. He welded the axle tubing and it looks so good. Josh finishes up the coil buckets on the driver's side.
That, got that. That side is done, I believe.
Tack, tack, weld. This was a tight spot, so Josh had to weld upside down, and he is not impressed with his results.
Don't show that.
Don't show that. The camera backs away. Here, look at the diagram. That's what y'all had to look at. That just say Bug did it. Bug did that.
Definitely not pretty.
You had the stinger upside down.
Don't show it.
Looking at the box of parts and what is left, we move on to the coil buckets. It's like a little mushroom.
Nice that I got this welding table here.
It's a very expensive welding table that's been welded. So we got the before and the after. Before After.
Slow-mo. Those are done.
Those are overcooked.
Both of these will go in here. Set a shock in there with a little bit of room. Weld it in.
Fun.
So that means lower control arms.
All right.
Driver's side. That would be 21.
Yeah, how do you know placement? Just eyeball or educated guess? There's eyeball, educated guess, or read the instructions. The instructions. Pieces 20 and 21 orient on the axle almost as far apart as they can go and rotate it up to about 1/16 of an inch from contacting the shock tabs above.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, I don't know if it's enough to fully weld, but I mean, how big of a deal will it be if they're off by a few?
Not really.
You made it against your own advice.
What can we use that's flat, that's about 1/16 of an inch, and just draw a line on it? Like a metal ruler, and then lay it across that, you know, something that fit in there, mark the line and put it on it.
I see.
That's what I do. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they gotta come up a ways. That one's about as close as you can get it, I think. That fits in there.
That's nice and
Perfect.
snug.
That fits in there perfect. Now this one,
This one needs to come off. It's a little low.
I'd say right, because the other one's just barely touching it, like right there.
Okay.
I can hold that if you want to tack it.
That does seem more in line.
That looks
with
good.
That bump.
Yeah.
About the same as that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks perfect.
Josh finishes welding up the lower control arm brackets.
She done.
Live.
So there is. Sorry, I'm not done. There's two things that I need to weld in, but I don't want to yet.
So when we put this on,
Or
we're
don't-
gonna have to put it kind of in and over. Wait, there's not much clearance there, is there?
No. The placement of that sway bar mount is really close to the diff cover, so we pull out the Yukon diff cover to see if it's bigger or if it'll work. So let's see if it fits.
We pull it.
Yeah, it is maybe a little teeny wider, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh, if you look here, look down this. See how flat that looks? And that one's that way.
Cut it off.
That's on there good though.
When you set it in there, it kicked over.
Yeah.
It sure did.
What hooks to it?
This.
Yeah.
Playboy.
So we may not even care that much about that, right? Would it matter if your shock was? Shouldn't matter at all, right? Your shock turns, right?
Spin that all day long. That's what I was going to say. This is what I need to weld in, but it was kind of one of those things where I kind of wanted to test fit the shock in.
Yeah.
And that's easy to just.
Right.
I was trying to keep it straight, but it wouldn't stay straight because of the cutout for the axle tube and the cutout for the block.
Yeah, because that'd be a lot of work to get that out. You're welded where? Here and here?
I'm welded
Everywhere.
here,
Oh, yeah.
in there, here, the tube as well.
Let's rock it.
Well, I think so too. I mean, if it's just, we're not going to do sway bars.
Correct.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know if we had to.
I don't.
We stood around for a while to discuss our options, but here's just a few of the ideas we came up with.
If we had to, we could maybe grind this out and just cut this straight and put that over instead of redoing this. Because I don't know that this matters that this is an angle at all.
Can we even just shave that off?
Yeah, because can you see your bowl hole? It's probably,
And then once you go closer, you'll be closer to the bolt holes too.
Yep.
If you're not using the sway bar, we just take the torch and cut this whole piece off. Cut down this piece and just pull it, or even cut over here and
box it. Yeah. Yeah, you could cut that off and even cut that like at a 45, almost even right there, and get yourself access. We'll know when we start putting it together if it becomes a big issue. I mean, we'll just have to suck. You'd have to cut it off and re-weld it, but I mean, it's pretty close to being done, right? I mean,
yeah, the only thing left really are those
coil buckets. Yeah.
And shock mounts. This is just we're gonna wait to get that upper link mount. We'll just throw it in there and then let it sit. I'll tack it in or weld it in underneath there, and then be good.
Cool. What's our next step?
I know.
That one. All right.
Cutting that off.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, let me.
Absolutely amazing. But
Before we put the Dana 60 aside, we want to spray it with a coat of primer.
yeah, it's just fun.
Dance party. Just to protect the metal before we put pour 15 on it. Now we've got the gray axle for the gray goat.
So the only thing that we're doing with this one is literally cutting the spring perches off
And cleaning her up.
Cleaning it.
So the Dana 60's down. Sterling 10.5 is up.
That's it, bud.
New patient. Ready to be worked on. All right, let's get it started on the Sterling. Like we said earlier, we're just taking off the spring perches. So Josh gets busy grinding. The spring perch on the passenger side did not want to come off. We went back and forth from grinding to hitting it, to grinding to hitting it.
Josh is bigger. Yours is bigger. That's what she said.
We kept hitting it and it just would not come loose.
Do you have anything heavier if we flip it around to get downward? I got that axe I think's got a back, that badass new steel axe I just had to have back.
I'm gonna give her a good 3-pound swing.
Okay.
Oh! Good job.
Okay, take out that part where I was hitting with the axe.
You got it.
So it really was just like a fucking fillet weld.
It was barely hanging on.
It really was. That's interesting. I mean, you beat the shit out of it.
Well, round 2.
One down, one to go. For some reason, this one comes off a whole lot easier.
So I'm thinking this scenario right here was basically the pickle jar, right? You know, bam, bam, bam. And then Josh takes it off real easy, you know, after I was slamming on it with the axe. That's got to be the pickle jar scenario.
That's your story and you're sticking to it?
I mean, you're leaving the axe thing in, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, here he goes. Pickle jar.
Oh, let me pick it up.
There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Man, I'm glad I took about 4 or 5 hits with the axe on that one before Josh got to it. Did you get that on camera? Okay.
No, I wasn't filming on that one. Interesting. Very different.
I mean, so much easier.
Might have been the angle, so I had the pinion rolled down more, so it was.
That's true. Yeah.
I gotta weld these undercuts in from when I cut the spring perches off. We got into the axle tube a little bit, so I'm gonna fill those back in, grind it all flat, make it look like there's never there.
I love it. This looks great, Josh. Next time we will finish the axle setup on the Sterling 10.5, and it is time to bring out the 8 1/4. Time to bring her out and get her cleaned up to sell. So y'all stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching.